All right, ladies and gentlemen, yikes. Yikes. Not the video idea. The video is good. Mike McDaniel is a Los Angeles Charger. Unbelievable. I was kind of hoping Mike McDaniel was going to go to the Detroit Lions, and then, they picked up Drew Petzing a day or two ago, and so it was kind of, is Mike McDaniel going to take a head coaching job with a team like Las Vegas or Cleveland or what have you, or is he going to go be an offensive coordinator on a good offense or a team with a good quarterback like Justin Herbert? Greg Roman famously said 2 years ago, time flies, first off. Greg Roman famously 2 years ago, can you imagine Justin Herbert with the run game? I still can't really imagine it, or I can imagine it, I still haven't really seen it. Mike McDaniel with the run game, he knows what he's doing. And I really like this, and here's the bottom line with the Los Angeles Chargers. They're turning pretty sad. My first memory of the Los Angeles brand Charger team, because first off, the team's sad in general, and I don't say this in my Chargers videos outright over on Will Upton, so I'm going to be a little bit more real on this channel. I hate the move from San Diego to Los Angeles, but I also understand I'm 26 years old. I haven't really been through too much team relocations. It's just the way I see it. I'm from Chicago. If they move the Chicago Bears to Indiana, I mean, what the hell? It's not the same team. How can you still root for the Indiana Bears? The Bears are about to move from the city to the suburbs, and I think that's stupid, but at least they're still in the same town. San Diego Chargers, Phillip Rivers, that's my whole childhood. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, that's my childhood, is watching those two guys play and dice it up on a baseball field in Oakland. So I hate the move from San Diego to Los Angeles. So I'm a little bit difficult on this team, but my first memory of it is the whole Jacksonville Jaguar comeback game. That's my first memory of this Los Angeles brand. And so last year, they played the Houston Texans, and Justin Herbert looks kind of like how C.J. Stroud looked this past weekend against the New England Patriots. So they scored 14 points, if I'm not mistaken, in that game, and then they just scored 3 against New England 2 weeks ago to get eliminated from the playoffs. And it does suck because you're 11-6, you have a really successful season, and your offensive line is historically bad. You have the worst offensive line because your 2 star tackles got injured essentially. I mean, your star got injured right when the season began in Joe Alt. So you've got Slater and Alt dealing with these injuries, and the offensive line's in shambles. So, yeah, I'll cut them a little bit of a break as far as run game goes. But at the end of the day, man, when Justin Herbert's your quarterback, I'm a little bit bigger on Herbert maybe than some other people. You should win a playoff game. You know what I mean? Justin Herbert should be winning at least. Justin Herbert should be what C.J. Stroud is right now in Houston, where at minimum they're winning the first playoff game and then they're losing in the divisional. But getting in the 7th seed and having to play that New England team, it's a tough, just kind of luck of the draw, poor luck of the draw, I guess you could say. But anyways, it's inexcusable that this team has not won playoff games. Justin Herbert needs to win playoff games. So Mike McDaniel comes on over. I've got some stats here. In his first 2 years, which, by the way, if you guys don't mind, hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of January, and it looks like we might actually get there. So it goes a very long way. Thank you. A little bit different than over on our main channel, Will Upton. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this style. We got a lot of coaching stuff. I just woke up. I had a bad night 2 nights ago where I woke up way too early yesterday, and the morning got away from me. So I did just roll out of bed. I'm wearing exactly what I wore yesterday. But sometimes you just need to talk offensive coordinator hires. You know what I mean? First 2 years in Miami, McDaniel built a really good offense. 2023, Tua, who was selected 1 spot before Justin Herbert in 2020, led the NFL in passing yards with 4,624. The Dolphins were also 2nd in offensive scoring and 3rd in expected points added per play. And yeah, let's see here. Chargers last year ranked 19th in EPA per designed rush, 22nd in rushing success under Greg Roman. Greg Roman, said in 2024, 1 month after he took the OC job. Can you imagine Herbert with a good run game? So Mike McDaniel has an interesting pedigree, really interesting story. And Kyle Shanahan loves Mike McDaniel. Absolutely loves him. And he did great things with the San Francisco 49ers before he went to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Now, Mike McDaniel, sorry, I'm super congested today. I'm super congested in general. I don't know why. Mike McDaniel is an interesting man, to put it bluntly, or fairly. If I had to put it bluntly, it looks like he's on drugs sometimes in the post-gamers. And people try to discredit it. Like, I watch Mike McDaniel go viral at the end of the Dolphins season of him, like, spazzing out in a post-game presser, coming off like a coke high, it appears. And somebody will say that on Twitter, like, it looks like he's on the come down from drugs. And it's just, that's what it looks like. But drugs or no drugs, maybe I shouldn't even bring that up, but that's what I see, at least when I see Mike McDaniel in some of these pressers. I do see somebody coming down on drugs. Neurotic man. And I don't think he's built to be a head coach. I just don't view him personally as a leader of men. I cover the NFL. I'm not a big man. I'm not a big man at all. Mike McDaniel, he's a smart man, but eventually he lost the locker room. Right, so they have 2 years of success with the Miami Dolphins, and he's this offensive genius. Tua is leading the NFL in passing yards. The Tyreek Hill trade's going nicely. The Miami Dolphins are winning games. They're making the playoffs. They're losing in cold weather. Eventually that catches up to him, and he starts to lose it a little bit. And Tua is not the best quarterback in the NFL. Tua is a really interesting case study of a quarterback in the league, and it's just time for Miami to move on from either Mike McDaniel and or Tua, and that's what they decided to do. They picked up Jeff Hafley, Packers defensive coordinator, and Mike McDaniel, I'm trying to pull up, he's 5'9", so we're similar heights. He's just decked out in this Miami swag, and I feel like at the end of this year it just kind of was a bad look. He's literally swagged out in drip on the sideline, and the Miami Dolphins are 4-7. And so when you're losing, it's kind of this issue is, the coach kind of looks goofy out there. And when you're winning, it's like the coach looks so goofy out there. They're winning, though. The coach looks like a goofball. That's how I would say the Dolphins' tenure ended. He looked like a goof out there. But my point just is, there are guys out there who are just built to be coordinators. I always say it in my videos, Vic Fangio comes to my mind right away. Vic Fangio is built to be a defensive coordinator. And I think Mike McDaniel is just built to be an offensive-minded guy. Same with kind of Josh McDaniel over on the New England Patriots. I view him similar. Interesting personalities, and they're just really smart offensively, but maybe not poised to be head coaches. So he joins Harbaugh, so they don't have a head coach issue, and he's going to be the OC. And he's going to inherit a really solid team. Let me see if I can pull up their offseason real quick, because I was going to say, they've got all these weapons, but who's about to be a free agent? Amari and Hampton and Trey Harris, I really like theirs 2 rookie seasons. Let's see here. Got to upgrade the interior offensive line. Bradley Bozeman continues to grade as one of the NFL worst centers. Mekhi Becton at right guard was not the best first season. Tart's a free agent. Khalil Mack turns 35 in February. Maybe bring him back for another contract. I know it sounds so obvious, but really the Chargers just need to shore up their O-line and get a competent OC in the building. And it appears they've already done half of that. And so I see right here a big prediction. Chargers will blow their free agency budget on Steelers guard Isaac Seumalo. Despite the turn in 33 next season, he's playing at a high level, ranked second among all guards with a 97 pass block win rate this season. So maybe another guard splash to take over Zion over at left guard. But when your 2-star right tackles are injured, it's going to be hard to protect that offensive line. So that's it. That's all I've got for this video. I'll obviously do a bigger more in-depth video over on Will Upton for the Chargers in the next couple of days. But that's all I got for you guys. I got to go wake up. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. And let me know your thoughts on Mike McDaniel, the Los Angeles Chargers, down below. Peace.